I know it feels weird to hear that your parents are choosing your partner, but they are, and here's how they're doing it. Welcome back to today's video. I'm Krymkat and I am a relationship coach helping you build your relationship with one tip of wisdom at a time. I'm super excited about today's topic because it's something people don't really talk about and many people don't really know. But a lot of research and evidence has backed the fact that the way you are parented, the way you are raised, directly influences how you choose your partners. So your parents are choosing your partners, but you don't know. And here's how. Number one is the way they frame. They're framing your taste buds. They're framing the things you desire, the kind of things you do not desire, and the things that you do not like. So a lot of people, based on the kind of backgrounds that they are from, the kind of relationships that they have experienced with significant adults in their lives, and the kind of romantic relationships that they have observed around them, they strongly either drift away from a particular kind of person or a particular kind of trait, or they are strongly attracted to a particular kind of person or a particular kind of trait. So the way you're raised is framing your taste buds, is framing the kind of things you like and the kind of things you don't like, is framing the kind of things that appeal to you and the kind of things that do not appeal to you. So it's very important to understand that your parents have framed. It's not something they're framing. They already have framed the kind of things you like, the kind of things you don't like by the way they have raised you. Yes, we are unique. Yes, we have our very individual dispositions, but backgrounds and experiences that are curated by the kind of parenting that you receive directly impact, directly influence the kind of disposition that you have, the kind of responses you have. This is why you hear some men say things like, I want to date a woman like my mother, or you hear some girls say things like, I just want a man like my dad. So their taste buds, their attractions, their predilections have already been framed by the experiences that they have from significant adults in their lives. If they believe that the way a person or maybe their dad or their mom lived was what they believe to be a great standard, then you would find that they are constantly looking forward to such a standard to be able to qualify that as true love or great love. Well, if they are coming from maybe broken backgrounds, toxic backgrounds, they would find that even though they do not like that kind of approach, they find themselves some kind of way repeating those patterns and repeating those mistakes. And that's because the fact that you don't like something does not mean you will not recreate it. You have to be intentional to unlearn the subconscious behaviors and the subconscious conditionings that make you do the same kind of things that people who raised you did that you necessarily do not agree with. You see, so they are framing your taste buds, and because of the framing that you have received growing up, you are more likely to choose in the direction of which you have been raised. Number two, your parents shape fundamentally how you view the world. So you view the world kind of through their lens, but with a brand new set of experiences to layer upon theirs. So while they were raised in another generation, you're raised in another generation. Maybe your parents are boomers and you are millennial or you're Gen Z. You were not raised in their generation, but the models in their minds, the subconscious conditionings that they had, that they passed down not only genetically, but through the way they raise you, the ideals, the value systems, just the way they make you see the world through the kind of education that you were giving informally, is shaping you to see the world a certain kind of way. And even though your experiences are different because you're cross generations, you would find that at a certain point in life, if you look back, you're almost recreating their patterns if you're not intentional enough to identify and break out of them. So it's very important for us to see and understand this fact and see and understand this truth that actually rings true for many generations, that you fundamentally see the world how you are raised to see it, and your parents are at the forefront of that shaping. So if you have parents who are more contemporary, who are more open-minded, you're going to see that have a big role to play even in the way you see the world and relationships. If you have parents who are more cultural, even though you have a season of rebellion against that ideal traditional framework, you find yourself fall back to it a whole lot of times. And this will definitely shape not just the kind of relationships that you choose, they will shape the way you show up in a relationship. They will shape the kind of people you can or cannot be with. And that is the second way your parents are choosing the love of your life. Third way is parenting frames your attachment styles. So the way you attach, the way you develop emotional connection, the way you see love, and the way you give love. People who are more withdrawn, who are more independent, who do not necessarily want to form attachment or bonds, and this is directly related to the kind of upbringing they had. You might find people who experienced more neglect behave that way. You might find people who had a healthy expression of love in their family. Maybe their parents were those people who were more likely to hug you, kiss you, and always show love in maybe through physical touch. It's easier for such people to express love that way and receive it. So they are more likely to feel unloved in a context where they have to be with somebody who necessarily do not have love expressed physically or verbally in the kind of family they were raised, which is a lot of African families, to be honest. So if you find yourself in that situation, it's easy to understand why you react that way or why you tend to respond that way, and that can really explain how you choose your partner and the kind of people you feel appeal to you or do not appeal to you. It's largely related to that. That way is that I kind of touched on this earlier, is that though you might be from a background or a family relationship that you do not really appreciate, and you might be trying to run away from, but that desire to not create what they have, if it's not funded by knowledge, if that desire to not recreate the pain you're coming from is not inspired or is not followed up by very intentional action, you would find that even though you really do not want to recreate your past, you would unconsciously recreate your past. Why? People with soul wounds, I keep saying this, are attracted to people with soul wounds. So you would find that people would even bond over the kind of past that they've had, over broken systems, over broken families, not necessarily with the intention to deviate, but with the intention to find solace and comfort with someone who they believe understands where they're coming from. So it's just like, I don't want to use that phrase, but it's just like the blind leading the blind. And I'm not saying people who are hurt can't be together, no. I'm saying that the sole essence of coming together cannot be to find bonding over a wound and not necessarily to heal the wound. So if you don't heal your soul wounds, you still find yourself in that situation where you are going into relationships, because you feel like this is someone who can understand, or this is someone who can relate to the pain and the trauma you're coming from, not necessarily because, hey, this person actually believes in the value systems that I need to build a life different from where I've come, and this person will understand the kind of progress I have made as an individual in my personal life to be able to create something different for myself, something different for generations after me that doesn't look like the pain, the trauma, and the chaos I'm coming from. You just want to nurse a wound and not necessarily heal the wound. That is a problem, and that's one of the ways that people's parents are influencing their choice of a partner. And if you're African like me, specifically Nigerian, this is just a bonus point, but your parents might be directly choosing who you are, directly influencing who you're choosing, not even indirect. They're not trying to come through the corners. They're just telling you that you must marry your tribe. You must marry from your village. You must marry somebody who understands how to speak your language. And while it's 2025, it's the 21st century, we are 25 years into the 21st century, things have not changed, to a very large extent. So many people are still tribalistic. So many people are still very much in tune with regions and ethnicities in choosing spouses in their children's choices of spouses. So you'd find that people are even refusing to fall in love with people that are not their tribes because they don't want to go into a fight with their parents, you know, because of their choice of a partner. So they're just like, ah, I really like this person, but it's not my tribe. Let me even start so that I don't get heartbroken. And that's a thing, really. That's a thing. So those are some of the ways your parents are influencing your choices. I will be coming back for a part 2 of this video because there's so much evidence and research that has gone into this, and it's mind-blowing what researchers have found as regards how parents directly influence the way children do their relationships when they're adults, and the kind of people they even choose to be their partners. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. I really enjoyed filming it. This is me saying sorry. I don't film with my mic because I forgot my mic somewhere. So I'm so sad. I'm so sorry. I hope the audio is good enough. But then if it isn't, I ask that you forgive me kindly. I hope that you did enjoy. Please share this with someone that you know would find it interesting. Like the video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about the video, what you would like to hear me talk about more, questions you feel like you would love to hear me answer, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. This is me leaving you with love and light. Bye.